In the face of Republican opposition, President Obama moved his speech to a joint session of Congress to next Thursday. But that's still not enough for Congressman Joe Walsh, a Tea Party Republican from Illinois, who's become one of the most outspoken critics of the White House. Mr. Walsh issued a statement explaining why he will not be in attendance when the president speaks to the nation about the dire state of the economy. It reads, "I don't see the point in being a prop for another of the president's speeches, asking for more failed stimulus spending and more subsidies for his pet projects." Just a short while ago, I had the chance to ask the congressman about his refusal to attend.
Martin, we're all ready to work with this president. Both sides in Washington are ready to work on this problem. Delivering a speech in front of a joint session of Congress, I would respectfully say, isn't work. This president has made a career out of giving speeches. We're done giving speeches. If he were serious, he'd work with Republicans. He'd work with his own party, I'd add. But the thought that he's got to put together a speech in front of a joint session of Congress, to me, is purely, Martin, a political move, and I just don't want to be used in that type of a fashion.
But with respect, neither you nor I know what the content of the speech is going to be. We do know from briefings that there are going to be specific strategies included. You, as a member of Congress, were elected by such a narrow margin of only 291 votes. Doesn't it obligate you to attend this speech, if only to represent your entire constituency?
No, Martin, it doesn't obligate me to attend the speech. I will read, and I will read what he's putting out. I'll read his speech. If he's got new and interesting proposals, I will read them and listen to them and respond to them.
But as President of the United States, do you not think that it is not asking very much for you to consider respectfully your position? You say you'll read the speech, but doesn't it require that you attend on behalf of your constituents?
No, again, Martin, I believe that he's sort of abusing his position here.
He's abusing his position?
Yes, there's no reason for him to call a joint session of Congress, Martin. My Lord, we reserve that for heads of states from dignitaries around the world, presidents in moments of crisis.
Mr. Walsh, this is a moment of crisis. We've got job numbers today where we have had zero growth. This is a moment of crisis. That's why
Martin,
he's inviting you to attend and listen.
Martin, this is a political exercise. This is political theater. This president, respectfully, has made a career out of simply giving speeches. He put forth a budget earlier this year that the CBO wouldn't even estimate because they said we don't estimate speeches. We are in a crisis right now, a crisis that he, to a large degree, has created. And I don't want to be a pawn in this political play of his.
Okay,
if he were serious,
let's talk for a moment about your own rhetoric. You posted a YouTube video in which you sought to speak directly to the president about a long litany of complaints. Let's play part of your video now.
Okay.
President Obama, quit lying. Have you no shame, sir? In 3 short years, you've bankrupted this country and destroyed job creation. You're either in over your head, you don't understand what makes this country great, or you're hell-bent in turning us into some European big government wasteland.
Are you saying that the occupant of the White House should listen to you in that video? That's what you seem to be saying. And yet you have no responsibility to listen to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the United States?
Oh, gosh, Martin, I listen to him every day. I read what he puts out every day. I don't want to sit with the rest of my colleagues next Thursday night for him to come over to Capitol Hill and give a political speech and give the appearance that he's leading on this issue when, in fact, he's made things dramatically worse for 3 years.
Okay,
I would rather go back home.
You've made that
Martin,
point.
I'd rather go back home.
Okay.
I'd rather go back home, and I'm going to fly back home and talk to the folks who really know what we need to do when it comes to job creation, not this president.
We'll ask you about that in in a moment. But one can understand that you object to the policies of this president. But the stance you're taking suggests that this is not an attack on his policies. This is much more an attack on the man, isn't it?
No, Martin, again, respectfully, I don't know the president. This is not an attack on him. This is an attack on what he's doing Thursday night. He is, in my estimation, clearly playing a political move. There's no reason for him to call a joint session of Congress. It is clearly being done to present him as leading on this issue when, in fact, he hasn't. I don't think you should play politics with this issue. I put forth a video a couple months ago, Martin, where I accused him of lying. I didn't call him a liar because I don't know well enough. I don't know him well enough. But when he said to the American people that he didn't know if he could cut Social Security checks on August 3rd, in that instance, I don't think he was being truthful with the American people. I'm tired of his speeches.
Mr. Walsh, that is a somewhat semantic distinction, but you have, in fact, in the last few days, called the president idiotic. So you say you didn't call him a liar, but you have called him an idiot. Is that not right?
Absolutely. And you know what, Martin? Yeah, at a town hall that I did last night, I apologized for that remark. I did not mean to say that. I did say that,
you didn't mean to say. You didn't mean to call the president an idiot.
No.
What were you thinking when you said that? What was happening inside your mind?
What I meant to say, Martin, what I meant to say, here's what was happening inside my mind, Martin. I thought it was idiotic and silly, I said, for him to call a joint session of Congress to present a jobs plan 3 years into his term when he and his policies, Martin, have systematically destroyed the private economy in this country. For him now to reset and all of a sudden, I'm going to do something about jobs, that to me is idiotic, and that to me is silly. The man's not an idiot.
I'm not going to argue with you about the facts concerning the stimulus, where millions of jobs have been created, but I want to put this to you. You said in the past that Mr. Obama would never have been elected if he wasn't black, and you say liberals here were in love with him being a black, articulate man. You say if liberals see the president, though, through his race, how do you see him? Are you colourblind?
Here's what I think,
Are you
Martin.
colorblind?
I think that I do my best to be colorblind, Martin. And again, not knowing you, I'm sure you do as well. Here's what I think. I think we elected this president because of who he was. He was a historic figure. It made this country feel good to elect him. We did not vet him. Your profession did not vet him as much as we should.
Mr. Walsh, do you understand?
Now, Martin, let me finish.
No,
Let me finish, Martin. Martin, let me finish.
I don't have enough time.
Hold on.
No, Mr. Walsh, I don't have enough time. I just have to make a connection. I just have to make a connection between what you just said. And now we know what he's done. I just want to make a connection between what you just said. You just said we elected him because he was an historic figure. He's black. Is it the case?
No. You said that.
No, you
said that, Martin.
You just
I
made
said
the
that
connection.
we elected him because of who he was.
I'm asking you, are you able to be as disrespectful to the office of president by simply walking away from something that every member of the Congress is going to attend? Is that also because he's black?
Oh, gosh, Martin, white, black, brown, yellow, you don't name it. We have a president right now that's bankrupting this country and is destroying job creation in this country. And I think it is purely political for him to call a joint session of Congress to announce some jobs plan. I'm going to go back home and speak to the people who really know how to create jobs in this country.
Mr. Walsh, we'll be looking forward to the jobs that you create in your alternative speech there in the forum in Illinois. But for the moment, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Good to be with you, Martin.